Hello guys, good day. This is Anne of Reinforcement Club, your fellow positive reinforcer. Today we're going to talk about the 10 essential tips for new nurses, especially nursing graduates, when starting their first job. This marks as an important milestone in your professional career, filled with learning, adjustment, and growth. From academics, from theory into hands-on with patients, and understanding what to expect and navigate what are the common challenges as you enter on your first job makes this transition rewarding and smoother. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Now, first things first, after job interview, you're gonna be nervous, and then once you get hired, and there you go, yay, you're gonna finally apply what you've learned from school. Now, afterwards, on your first day, you tend to be polite. That's the perfect time to build trust and rapport with your colleagues first. And it's important to, number one, the number one tip is to ask questions early and often. You're not, as a newbie, you're not expected to learn everything right away and even know everything, And it's also part of a professionalism to ask questions. It's never a sign of weakness. Always ask. Whatever will be the outcome, even, just don't think about if your colleague will be thinking, oh, this is stupid. Look, that's how you learn. Ask questions and don't be afraid what other people think about it. Ask and it shall be given to you. That's the basic one. Ask. Always ask. The second one is prioritize patient safety and privacy above all. That's why you ask to be able for you to know what are the policies, what are the do's and don'ts, the very basic ones in the area. Double check the patient's identity, medication, consents, procedure, and then ask if you're in doubt. Because safety and privacy is one of the utmost priority in the nursing profession. That's why we're like guards. We're like security guards serving our patients. Now, the third one is always, as much as possible, stay organized and manage your time. In what way? How can you be organized? In the first day, second day, third day, let's just say first week, you get to know the place, you ask a lot, you read the policies, and double check the patient, for the safety and security. So what I mean about being organized and manage your time is that you get to know the routine of the area. First thing in the morning, they do rounds. They give, the second thing they do is give medications, check the vital signs. And I'm talking about the wards. If emergency room, if your first job is an emergency room, you find out their daily routine. They ask the patient identity, assessment, what happened, and then they diagnose, and then intervention. What people do for the entire day. So that the second day, third day, fourth day, you can finally get to know, you can already somehow imagine how it feels like to be in their shoes. What you're going to do when you encounter the patient. When you finally get out, when you finally get the phase when you're already on your own. So get to know the routine by making checklists, make your own checklist, make your own notes, make your own shift plans. And this making checklist, defining the routine of the area, this will help you, be on top of the task And knowing, having everything planned as much as possible. I know, you don't, there are loads of unexpected things in the hospital. Having already things planned ahead will absolutely reduce your stress as a newbie. Plus, the things that you've learned from the unexpected happenings, like, there's just one day that it's your first day, second day, and then there's a situation wherein one patient had a heart attack, then another learning for you, and you get to know what happened, what they've done, what's the protocol, and you write it down, make notes, and finally it's on your checklist, which means that every day is a school day for you. Even when you finally become an experienced nurse, every day will always going to be a school day for you. And number 4 is that learn from your preceptor and colleagues. Observe how they communicate to one another, how they communicate to the patients, and how they handle the challenging situations in your area. So learn from them. You might want to consider learning their own ways, because every person, every staff have their own ways. Although there's only one way, but people have their different ways one way, one protocol, one policy, but some people have their techniques to get things done. You might want to learn that, take down notes, and put it in your checklist. That's how we grow. We learn from the best. We learn from people who are better than us. So you might want to consider sticking around with the best of the best. That's why you have a preceptor, which means that your preceptor is one of the best nurses in the area. Number 5 is communicate clearly and professionally. Never assume. Document and, always document what's being said, what happened. And verify if your colleague have heard your point. Verify if your colleague have heard the doctor's order. If you're taking if you're taking a telephone order, verify if your colleague have heard that that you need help, that he's going to come back to help you, so that you can get things done. Always communicate clearly and professionally. I have said it again. Number 6 is accept feedback with an open mind. It's normal, completely normal to hear and expect constructive criticism, which actually going to help you grow along the way in that area. You need it in the most part. So whatever it is, positive or negative, just take it as it is and grow from there. And I'm telling you, it's not always going to be positive. It's way better to know what's wrong so that you can make it right. And then you're going to grow from there. Then you finally get it, that you're not going to do it again. All your flaws will be straightened up. That's the purpose of feedback. And take it. Happily take it. I know it's not going to be easy to take it. You're like that. You're not listening. You're not asking people. Your preceptor might sometimes going to tell you you're not asking questions. You're so quiet. You're too shy. So take it as it is. And then the following day, ask questions. Build trust with your preceptor, because your preceptor is your first partner, your buddy in the area. And you can learn a lot from your preceptor. So be kind, be friendly, and truthful, trustworthy with your preceptor. Number 7 is know your limits and ask help. The way there are times in the area wherein we badly need assistance, especially if the situation is unsafe or overwhelming to us while we're working. So never hesitate to ask help to successfully finish the task. Now, some people, some staff, they don't need help when they do particular things. But for you, you need help. For them, they can do it alone. So let them be. because they are already well experienced. They know the drill. But for you as a newbie, better off if you're unsure, ask for help. And there people will always going to be happy helping you. Just to get things done. Because in the workplace, the key to success is teamwork. Because if someone is in trouble, everyone there's an episode of if one of your patients is having heart attack, is in a critical condition, people will be rushing. Some staff will be rushing, will be happily helping you because you can't. They understand you've already gone through that phase, and of course, safety is a priority in the nursing profession. So, to get things done, to make everybody happy, teamwork is the answer. So never hesitate to call help. Otherwise, if you don't, when you mess up, it will be just you. It will be just you plus the patient, which is terrible. It's not the asking help is not for the sake of you in the most part. Asking help is for the sake of the patient, your job, your nursing career, and your future. So never hesitate. And also, since you're asking help, if you're not busy, you can also make time to help other staff who are extremely busy. Even if you're just a student or not a student anymore, I'm sorry about that. Even if you're just new, you could still be useful for them in some other ways. With the permission of your preceptor. Let your preceptor know where you are and what you're doing. That's a sign of respect. Number 8 is, when you are overwhelmed in your first day, first week, first 2 weeks. Let's just say you are assigned in a very busy area. Don't forget to take care of yourself. Stay hydrated, eat well, rest, and protect your mental health from burnout. So, when you get to know the routine, when you get to know the place, and you found out that, oh my gosh, you are working, and you will be working in one of the busiest area in the hospital. So it feels overwhelming the first time, but since you're already there, you got to take it as it is. And part of your, staying to be top of the game plan, part of organizing yourself and your time management is to protect your mental health. Never forget yourself, because you're the one looking after sick patients, sick people. But if you get burnout, if you forget about yourself, if you're not healthy, how can you take care of the sick when you are sick yourself, when you are not well? So this is one of the basics as a human being also, to take care of yourself, prioritize yourself, eat, rest, be healthy, stay hydrated, think well, and always plan, take notes, always plan ahead. Number 9 is keep learning every day. In your first job, first week, second week, third week, fourth week, even 1 month, you wouldn't know perfectly what's really going on in your area. Come on. You're not going to be an expert for first month. You need 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, even just 5 years. You can finally close your eyes while working. You know already what's going on. So chill, expect that every day is part of your nursing profession learning curve every day. So it's way better to review policies over time. Sometimes they change. Medications, and also if you have time, you can read the procedures that's already that is routinely done in your area. If you have time outside the shift, there's nothing wrong, about reading ahead, about trying to be ahead of the game, top of the game, so that by the time you depart, you'll be the one assisting the procedure without your preceptor. When that time comes, that's how you're going to get the confidence, when you know what you're doing. It's just a matter of time that you're building and building your confidence along the way by doing the procedure. And then that's how you're going to learn. That's how you're going to start from zero to hero. And lastly, be patient with yourself. That's number 10. Be patient with yourself. So sometimes, you can't really expect yourself to get everything right in the first day, in the first month, in the second month. Be patient with yourself. Sometimes you even have flaws, even if you've already passed the probationary phase. If you're already a staff nurse, still be patient with yourself. That every day is a school day. As I've said earlier, keep learning every day and accept yourself. That's also part of, protecting and nourishing your mental health. And once you're patient with yourself, it also resonates with other people around you. You also learn how to be patient with your colleagues. As time goes by, on your first day, people tend to be good at you. But as you go along in the second week, third week, fourth week, first month, you get to know the real colors of the people around you. And that's actually good. Because along the way, you're going to learn also how to deal with those people. So, yeah, that's one way of being patient with yourself. That life could be cruel sometimes and kind at the same time. There are good days and bad days which are completely normal. That is why don't be hard on yourself. You wouldn't get it perfectly the first time, second time around. You need more time. You need to grow in that area. And everything takes time. So, yeah, I hope I shared something valuable today for for those nurses who just had their first job, or to those nurses who is about to, who just got involved in this so-called first job in an institution or a clinic. It's never going to be perfect. Even if you're already a professional nurse with 5 or 10 years experience, the way when you transfer a job from one place to another, or an area from one place to another, you're still going to go back from zero to hero. So, yeah, every day is a school day. And I hope I shared something valuable today. If you ever love this episode, you can share this to your family and friends. You can follow me in YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, even in Amazon Music. By the way, this is Ann, your fellow positive reinforcer. I do appreciate your time and have a lovely day ahead. Thank you.